Hello and welcome to Dragon Tavern, now on the D20 Multiverse, reviewing the Critical Dungeon cartoon of Dungeons
Critical Dungeon cartoon? I think you're on the wrong show again.
It's alright, we can cut that out, it's fine. The Dungeons and Dragons cartoon from the early 80s, the most wholesome 20 minutes of television I've ever been compelled to enjoy myself, Oliver Dungeon Master.
Dave.
We are here at your request, doing more of these.
I don't think it's by request, but it's like we've committed. So
How many more episodes are there?
There's like 27.
Okay, so
and we're on 9.
We're nearly halfway, kind of.
Not even.
So essentially,
this episode's called the Quest of the Skeleton Warrior.
who we find out is called
Dekkion. Dekkion.
Yeah.
Dekkion.
That's a pretty good name for a skeleton. I mean, we'll start off with
Well,
that.
we do criticise them
Pretty
for
good.
the names.
We do.
So
Because they name Circle of Power is another thing.
yeah, they will come up later. But
actually,
give them credit where it's due.
And to be fair, like the actual original AD&D books, that was the names they used, stuff
True.
like that. So it's evolved now to like the Spire of Architect, but back then it was like the Circle of Power.
Yeah. The Temple of Doom.
Dungeon Master. I still feel that's a bit too low bar.
Dungeon Master.
Yeah, I feel like he should have an actual name.
Steve.
Fucking Dungeon Master. In this episode again.
Yeah, so it starts off with Avenger kind of chilling out and then going over and seeing his skeleton dude mate that he's kind of hired.
Okay, so I want to start making a list of all the things Venger has but does not use to their full potential.
Well, what's this time?
Ability to make volcanoes explode, ability to become a smoke monster. In this one, flying horse, he uses it to get from place to place.
Oh, he uses that quite a lot.
Survives a thunderstorm. He decides to go flying in a thunderstorm. Not a great idea. Narrowly avoids lightning. And yeah, apparently we meet the skeleton warrior.
Yeah.
Who's been enslaved.
What do you mean apparently? We do.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently.
I'm
hypothetically we do.
I'm so happy I don't even believe in reality. It's like, I liked fucking alternate dimension theories before they were cool.
Apparently.
So essentially we find out that he's been captured by Venger for centuries.
And enslaved.
Thousands of years.
Yes. Thousands?
Well, he said centuries, or did they say millenniums? He said something like that.
I'm pretty sure he said centuries.
Centuries, so the hundreds of years. And it's just like, well, what? Because Venger seems real concerned with getting the artifacts. I'm like, what was he doing before then? I want to know now.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
It's like, Avenger, what were you doing before these kids showed up? Just chilling.
Fuck all, really. I kidnapped people for centuries.
I've just kind of going around being a dick, but then I realised I can just conquer the world now. So,
But I just need to stop these kids.
Anyway, there's the Circle of Power. And Dekkion's found the Circle of Power, which Venger wants.
Yeah, and Dungeon Master kind of essentially comes to the party and is like, hey, there's this thing that can send you home, and Eric goes, again.
Yeah, they jump to the party walking across a rockety bridge during a storm, and then the Dungeon Master shows up and the storm goes.
Yep.
Just...
And the whole party's like, oh, great, Dungeon Master, thanks for helping us again. And Eric's like, are you kidding? Are we going to go on another goddamn quest by this megalomaniac?
Yeah, it's like...
Another point, the rope bridge snaps.
Yeah.
Eric gets held, right? He falls and his foot gets caught and he's hanging upside down from a vertical rope bridge. Next thing you know, he climbs up. I'm sorry, how did you go from hanging by a foot like that? How did you get up and then...
And everyone criticised him. You always make sure the person the lowest gets up first.
Yes.
So he did the right thing, and also he's carrying a bloody shield on him.
Yeah.
It's a lot of weight.
And
they still get the like, oh, you selfish. It's like...
Also, without Eric, none of you guys are getting home.
And also, none of you were upset the fact that the Dungeon Master appeared randomly on the bridge, goes away, and then the bridge suddenly snaps. You want to think, maybe the Dungeon Master could have helped out here.
Yeah.
Maybe,
come back, maybe be like, I might want to haste yourselves on this bridge, because it's about...
Eric's the only one that really knows this.
Because I didn't like Eric at first, but he's now the only relatable character in the party.
Because he is us.
And it's just like,
You've become me, who's become Eric.
It was a simpler time when we started these Dragon Tables.
Yeah, anyway, Dekkion kind of makes a plan to trick the party into finding the Circle of Power, because apparently you have to have a good heart or something. You have to be a good guy to get it. Basically.
It's in the Tower of Celestial Knights. Only a Celestial Knight or a person whose soul is pure and true of nature can get in. Classic D&D trope. I think it's quite cool. It's interesting. Just fuck off.
It's called the Lost Tower, but everyone knows where it is.
Yeah.
So... I mean, just change the name to Found Tower.
Or just the Tower?
The Tower.
The Tower.
What about the Tower with the Circle of Power? It kind of has a ring to it.
Quite frankly, the Lost Tower is false advertising and you will get sued.
By no one in this world, because lawyers don't exist. But yeah, and then they do the classic, like, the TARDIS line, it's bigger on the inside. They actually do that.
I know now. Yeah, no, Doctor Who was first, right? So
Doctor Who was like back in the 1960s.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a Doctor Who reference there, which is kind of quite awesome.
So Dekkion kind of convinces the party to go and do this because he's like, I'm a fallen warrior and this will save me, blah 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 blah. And then once he gets there, he's like, I'm out. Meet me at the ruins once you're done.
Yeah. Now I kind of have started to feel like the party has Stockholm syndrome. With the Dungeon Master.
They're in an abusive relationship.
Except for Eric, who's the one person that's like, this guy is messing with us, and he's a nutcase, and he's dangerous, and we should not trust him. And the rest are like, but he's here to help.
Don't you want to get home, Eric?
And Eric's like, yes, very much so. In fact, sometimes it seems like I'm the only one who does.
Yeah, it's like, why should we trust this Dekkion guy? And then I think, it's not Eric, it's Hank. He goes, well, it's a way out. Don't you want to get home, Eric?
But no, the Circle of Power is the way out, which, by the way, you have a chance to use later, and you don't.
Yeah. So the party kind of, once they get in there, the whole purpose of this tower is to kind of make them face their darkest fears. So they get kind of split up. Eric and Presto, they get stuck together, and I think their worst, like Presto loses his glasses, and then Eric turns into this donkey thing, and then these ghosts show up and bully them.
Yeah.
I can't work out whether that was the bullying that was their worst fear, or the ghosts just because they weren't actually like going to kill them. They were just like, "Oh, what are you guys? You're nerds," stuff like that.
Basically, like the acrobat, her worst fear is being alone.
Diana.
She gets banished to a dimension when she's on her own.
No.
Not the acrobat. Sorry, the ranger.
Sheila,
the thief,
yeah.
Right, which later became Rogue. The thief gets banished to her dimension where she's all alone. Sheila gets really, really old, because that's her greatest fear. Bobby gets really, really young. And
No. Okay, Sheila gets lonely.
Yeah.
Diana and Bobby get old.
Sorry. No, Bobby gets young. He turns into a baby.
Oh, he gets young, but Diana, gets old.
And then apparently Presto's worst fear is losing his glasses.
Yeah, but I honestly think the worst fear is all the bullying. The ghosts were bullies.
I'd also, at this point, like to point out that because I'm watching this again, I've decided to write my own version of how things turned out. So,
do we want to finish the episode before you go for your own version?
I was going to do my own version of the current events that we're talking about.
Oh, well, what about Hank? We didn't go over what he was doing.
Oh, he was trying to get the Circle of Power, being the only useful member in this entire episode.
Yeah, well, what? I guess his worst fear is failing his team. I think that was the angle they went on at. But he was, and how he fixed it was just telling everyone to chill out, and everyone did.
I also wrote getting deep, and I underlined that because it's kind of deep.
All right, now you can go on your own version.
So the thief Sheila ends up starving to death.
It's morbid.
Yeah.
So what happens if they don't get saved, basically?
Yeah, well, no, this is like in my head how I justify watching another 20 minutes of the show. I'm going to mentally torture these characters who are causing me so much physical pain having to watch them go through this shit again with Dungeon Master. Bobby can't be fed because Acrobat dies of old age and then starves to death as well. Hank eventually collapses under the weight of his own torment and takes his life in a terrorist attack that wipes out half the city.
A terrorist attack?
Yeah, he kind of flips a little bit. Just whichever one's nearby. And
he's in the tower, though.
And Presto ends up cutting what's his name, Eric into pieces for food while he fights off the ghouls, and basically.
But he doesn't have his glasses. How can he see?
Oh no, he just starts wildly slashing around.
He kind of just goes like a blind man.
Yeah, he then paints his face in the blood of his enemies and stalks through the forest, slaughtering and bringing vengeance to the world, which has wronged him so many times.
That's a disturbing kind of angle.
Yeah, Dungeon Master gets arrested as the kidnapping dude. Who's
what law enforcement is kind of?
Oh, well, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
The acid wears off that Dungeon Master has spiked the party members' tea with.
Oh, so they're drugged. So now we're the kids drugged up on drugs
on acid.
now.
And then the cops come and arrest this guy who's actually orchestrating this whole adventure from his basement. And that's my version of the episode.
So your version, like when they went on the ride at the beginning,
they drunk the Kool-Aid. Basically,
they ended up getting really high on acid.
Yeah.
And being locked away
in a basement.
And essentially, it's an old man tormenting kids who are high on acid.
Yeah.
Do not ever offer any babysitting jobs to Oliver. Please.
Anyway,
for the sake of our future.
They overcome their greatest fears under the watchful gaze.
My greatest fear was what you just described, mate.
And we're getting close to the end of the episode. At one point, Presto pulls a US Navy ship from his wild magic hat.
Well, he does use the spell. Like he makes a US Navy kind of reference. But yeah, they get the circle. Hank gets the circle, and they go back to the ruins where Dekkion is. And then the DM comes up and just calls BS on Dekkion. Yeah, it's like, no, none of that. What you told them was true. What is the actual truth? And he's like, all right, this is what I actually did. Yeah. I actually betrayed my entire team, but I didn't really want to, and I've been tormented for like centuries by Venger.
And then the party goes, don't worry, we can help you. We will break the circle of power, thus freeing you from its binds. And Eric's like, but don't we need that to get home? I think it was Bobby goes, there'll be another way. Shoot it.
And also during the episode as well, what are you doing? You may need that. During the episode, Hank, when he's like feeling the effects of like, I betrayed my team, he goes, I should have never listened to Dekkion. Yeah, but you shouldn't listen to him after the fact as well. And then they goes to there and they're just like, all right, let's just give Dekkion the ring of power, and he turns back into a human. Then a griffon shows up out of nowhere, and he just rides the griffin. So the griffin apparently has been around for hundreds of years as well. Just waiting for him to come to a human, and it gets on him, and Dungeon Master's like, ooh, I'm off.
And basically the party are like, hey, we care more about this weird skeleton dude than we do about getting back to our friends and family.
And also Venger, because Venger shows up when they're at the ruins, and he manages to somehow gets the circle of power. I don't know if he has like telekinesis or something like that. He gets it, and then Deckion's like, I followed your instructions, you're going to release me now. He's like, I did all the work. Yeah, he's like that one guy that you do a school project with. It shows up last minute just to hand it in. He's like, I did most of the work.
That year would have been stuck on that desk. But exactly.
So Venger, you're a dick in that time. I don't care what happens to you there.
And like I say, that's the episode, and I find myself listening and identifying now only with Eric, as the rest of them are out of their minds.
Eric is just I know he's supposed to be the cynical kind of everyone kind of hates him, but to be honest, I like him.
He's logical.
I want him to get out.
Yeah, I don't think any of the others should, because the last episode was never made. It's only a script, as you said. I would love
Hank. Hank can stay there. Screw you, Hank.
Yeah, and
your deepest fear is failing people. You're failing people every single time by putting everyone else in front of them.
Also, Venger, you've had centuries in this place. You should be able to take care of 5 kids.
And know what to do when you get the weapons. There's several episodes where he gets the weapons.
It's like, but I did get all of them. I wanted. And it's like, yes, but.
And the DM's just like,
I don't want to deal with life anymore. I'm just gonna.
It's not that bad.
I'm getting into a cocoon.
Anyway, thank you again for watching our review of episode 9 of the D&D animated show. If you did like this, make sure you leave a comment or like and share this around. The more you guys do that, the more we make it. Thank you for our Patreons that do support us, that allow us to do a podcast. If you want it, links are down below as well. And also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Show more love, because the more love you give us, the more we keep on turning up every week. Because we do 2 weeks that was really offensive. 2 shows a week, and we're hoping to move to more if you guys want us to.
So, thank you for joining us on this episode of Dragon Tavern. From myself, Oliver, Dungeon Master, and
Dave.
We wish you a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I have this great fear that I will start watching these episodes in my free time just for fun, and that terrifies me.
You know what terrifies me? This is what I spend my free time on.
Fair.